Watch me ride.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Metalworks. Where's me nuts? I've lost me nuts! I found me nuts. Right, okay, so yesterday we were finishing this off. We brushed the aluminium plate and also lacquered it to get it in the right place and such. But yeah, anyway, that's done. And the hands we sprayed and lacquered, and again, there you go, see how nice and shiny these are? So my methods do work. So today we're going to basically build this clock. I might go back over the edge again with some wire wool, but there's nothing going to stop me from putting the stuff in the middle, making sure that's all okay. Again, thank you very much for anyone who watches these videos. I know this is a niche thing for my channel, so you remembering to like the videos, share them, subscribe, or even support the channel through the links in the description is really appreciated. I think this will grow. I think it will find its audience, but at the moment we're a minority. If my guesstimations are correct, these 10mm bolts should be just the right size, and I believe we'll have just the right amount of thread protruding to use half nuts rather than full nuts. So it's a nice flat, flush fit, but we'll see on that. But the first thing we need to do is stick this. Now remember I said I made this before now? This is the same centre as what's in the original template of this. The reason I do this is because I stick that on there like that, turn it over, and get that slap bang in the middle by eye. Right, so what I've done here is I've stuck that on in the centre, so I know that I have to get this circle within this circle centralised, then clamp it all down. I have a little bit of play to do with the size of this and the bolt that gives me a little bit of movement, and I've made this undersized so it should all fit behind here, and I can get that perfectly centralised and then get the bolts in and clamp it down. What? No! Whenever my cat hears I'm in here, she just wants to come in here. What? No! What do you want? What? Yes, but what do you want? Go in. Go inside. In. Go in. Go in. So as you can see, I've got the plate in, which is centralised and it's all in line. I've just nipped these down, so now I need to get an Allen key and a spanner and just tighten that down in place and it will be done. But one thing I do is I try and make sure that all of the heads are in the same angle, like so one of the points is pointing at the centre. You'd barely notice it if you really looked, but it's just those unseen little details that sort of make something look a bit more special or a bit more... You can tell more attention has been placed into the item rather than just something that's been slapped together. No! Can you hear my cat? It's being fed. It just wants attention. So I look pretty good. Now I just need to get a mechanism from inside and I'll show you how that all works. I'm also going to strangle my cat. Even though it sounds like it's currently being strangled. Do you need food? Food! You need food! Oh no! Attention seeker. Every single one of these holes I've run a piece of cloth through and just run it backwards and forwards and done the same thing around every single one of these. I did that earlier on. Oh, you may have noticed that one of the R1 clocks, number 33, hasn't or hadn't appeared on the store at the point that you're watching this, but you don't know when this was filmed. Anyway, at the point I'm talking, one of the R1 clocks is not on the store. The reason for that was I was just trying to get something right with it on the finish. I wasn't happy with it, so I didn't put it on the store to start with, and I spent another hour on it last night. It was such a small little imperfection, but it just annoyed me. And I was like, no, I want it to look better than that. But it was trying to fix that imperfection without causing more problems. Clock mechanisms. These are the clock mechanisms I use. Quartz clock mechanisms, well known for being very reliable. And these are non-ticking sweepers. So basically the second hand is a continuous movement, no ticking. Every single one of my clocks, unless it's an insert clock, will be that style of sweeping motion. They come in different spindle lengths, as you can see here. And you just got to find the right one. I think the short will be too short. Or it might just, but I'm not going to risk it because I will need to get extra stuff in between, so we're going to go for the slightly longer one. These come with these little rubber gasket things to put on the back here that's supposed to help grip it. They don't work, don't use them. Well, they do occasionally work, but not very often. So what I like to do, which I think is far more secure and it's more stable, because you think about it, if it's just pivoting around this middle bit, the whole clock on it can weeble wobble. But if you actually mount this to that, it's this that's holding onto the thing, not the shaft. Am I forgetting anything? No. Just put it in, line it up. Then you take a brass washer, which comes with the clocks, and you'll note that these are stamped. So one side is nice and flat, and the other side's got a ridge on it for being stamped. So find the ridge and put it on the downward side. He says that as he grabs one that doesn't actually appear to have that, but whatever. Like so. And then you take one of these little brass nuts that also comes with the clocks, like so. Okay, so you don't want to go too crazy on this, but you do want it to be tight. And there we go, nicely mounted. That's not going anywhere. You've got this which is holding it on, then you've got the Velcro which is really supporting it. And whereas before it would wobble back up and down, backwards and forwards, solid as a rock. So, think about this. Is there any reason I don't want to put the hands on yet? Yes, there is a reason I don't want to put the hands on yet, and that is because I'm going to still be modifying this possibly to mount onto the main stand. So all I'll do for now is I'll just place these on to give you an idea. So basically it's going to look like that, and it'll have a silver second hand, and that looks pretty good. I think that's a good length, because you've got this is tracking just outside of here, and this is tracking just inside of here. There's a good difference between the two. So the question which a lot of people say is, why do you not put like numbers on your clocks? Because it doesn't need them, it ruins the look in my opinion. Yeah, sometimes it's okay, but that's another example of things I've seen people do is where they've taken a sprocket and they've stuck plastic numbers on it. I've been using a clock without numbers, a sprocket clock like this, for years. It's not a problem. That's all I can say. It's pretty easy to work out the angles for the time. Some people have said that they don't like this style of clock and they would like a digital one, and someone's given me grief because I haven't done it yet. It's not easy because they don't really make digital clocks that you can fit into things. I'd love them to make, if they made an insert clock, like, you know, like what goes in the R1 clocks, slightly bigger, and then was like an LED screen in it. LED? Yeah, LED would be amazing, but you know, a screen in it for a digital clock. But I can't find them anywhere. They don't make them. They're not. It doesn't seem to be something, you know, like a classic insert clock. You can't get that digital. I'm a bit limited on time today, as I say. So I think what I'm going to do is, rather than get into something that's going to take a long time, I might have a look at cleaning up the welds I did in the stand, and making sure that's all ready to be bolted together. And then it's literally all there's left to do on the big clock. Then is marrying up the stand and the clock. And how I do that, I don't know yet. I've got a few things in mind, a few methods. I don't know. Okay, so if you remember, I welded this in an earlier episode. Was that 4, maybe? I can't remember. The reason I had problems getting this to weld, apart from the fact that it's very thick and my welder is a little bit on the weak side, and the fact that the wire speed was slightly too high, was that if you can remember back further, I actually forgot to clean the inside of this, which meant I had contaminants, and that was causing problems getting it to actually properly weld. It is welded absolutely solidly, there's no problems there, but it's not entirely neat. It is completely hidden, so this doesn't matter, but this is that the last little things you do just to make yourself happy that you know it's a bit neater. So I'm just going to go in here and just round off any corners. There isn't actually anything spiky in here, anything like that. The weld naturally does round itself off, but I'm just going to sort of neaten up and stuff. Unfortunately, you can't see any of this, so cue time lapse. Stop. Put some gloves on. Die grinders make the worst chips. The metal chips you get from sanders, stuff like that, they're generally rounded, they're not a problem. Die grinders cut, and they make the spikiest, nastiest little metal chips you'll ever find, and if you have them just land literally just on the palm of your hand, and you do that, they embed themselves in your hand, and then you spend that evening picking them out. Just noticed there's a few little holes, and I think I'd rather go back over this with a good amount of power and just try and remelt this pool a little bit, add a little bit more to it, just neaten it up a bit. It's strong. I've put a bar through this and, you know, given it a good a good wiggle. These are holding, they're completely hidden, they're smooth, they're not going to cut anyone, but it just doesn't. I've just stuck my finger in there with die grinding. You idiot! I was literally just saying about how I was careful because this stuff is so evil. Airline. Takes it straight off. Right, clean this out. Safety squint. So as I say, I want to re-weld it, and this time I'm going to try and get rid of as much oil as I possibly can. So I'm using some degreaser. I'm going to put the clamp as close to the down point I'm welding as I can within reason, so I get a really strong, you know, connection through the two, because if you put it right down here, you've got a lot of material that's got to go through, and I'd imagine that will give you some loss of voltage, or amperage, more importantly. Okay, so gas is on, welder's on, wire speed is down, mask is on. I remembered my gloves this time. I'm also going to take some still pictures while I'm doing this, which it's very difficult to show you, but the SLR is here, and it's going to be set on a manual mode, and it's going to be taking pictures every 4 seconds for up to about 40 pictures. Turn autofocus off, so it's not going to try and do that in between. And we'll see how they come out. Here's something about a welder I haven't shown you. Okay, so here's the wire that comes out. This is 0.6mm. You can get different sizes of this wire, but I use 0.6. And then you have a little tip which has got a hole going through it, like so. It's made of copper. That just slides on like that, and then this shroud goes over the top. Now what I had happen just now was, because this shroud is, as you can tell, it's hooper-chooped, it's knackered, it needs replacing, and this is actually my last one, so I need to order some. And it's not great because there's not a huge distance between, but basically if those two things come in contact, the centre and the outside, it goes across it. And yeah, it doesn't work very well. So I've cleaned it up best I can. It is still shielded. There's the cup. We'll get the gas over it, and I'll order some more. But yeah, those things happen. Wire speed's too low, way too low. Howdy. Stop. Right. There is kind of a theory of spraying stuff with WD-40 when it's really hot, because it like absorbs oil into the pores of the metal, as it were, and then it'll hold onto it and help protect it from rusting. Not that this is going to have a big issue with rusting, because it's kept, it will be kept indoors. Okay, a little bit of a jump. I've decided how I'm going to mount this onto the stand now, and I'm just making this little hook out of some 5mm, or 6mm mild steel rod. This stuff. So I've got it almost into the shape that I want. I just want to round the ends off and clean it up a bit, and then it's going to have to get welded in the top of the clock. So I'm just going to give this a bit of a clean up. God damn wire wheels. There you go. I can actually show you now. Right, can you see here? This is where one hit me in the hand. Blood. Should be wearing gloves. Can you see the other one? Still stuck in there. Putting my gloves on. Shut up. I'm going to clamp this between pieces of wood, because otherwise what I'm going to keep doing is just marring up the surface where I'm trying to clean it. Put it in the wood. Squish it. Let the wood squish, and that's held very securely. Focus, there you go, nice and clean. And basically that's going to get welded in the top of the clock, like so. And that just gives me a nice little hook that's close enough to the body that it will line up. But that's going to be in the next episode, because I'm done for today. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to leave a like, share with some people who might enjoy this. You know, all those good things that help grow a channel build. Help grow a channel build. You see, this is why I need to stop. Sleep deprivation. I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.
meow, 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 meow,